Better You Bet rolls on Thursday here from Radio Row, San Francisco, California. I have Dennis Pitta and Todd Heap with me. I know it's Wednesday. We're taping this on Wednesday. We'll play on Thursday. Great to have you guys here, former tight ends of primarily of the Baltimore Ravens. Nick Kostos, Westwood One Sports. What's going on, guys? How are we?
Doing Good to see you, Nick. Thanks for having us.
So, when Mark Andrews retires, does he join like the retired Ravens white tight ends category here?
Well, we just saw Ben Watson earlier. You know, we've got through Baltimore tight ends. We've got a good. We're Shannon Sharp. We need him to roll with us. You know, we got a few guys that can roll with us. So
honestly, a pretty sick lineage of I'm not joking here, of Ravens tight ends. That's pretty. Isaiah Likely's awesome. You guys got a lot of really good ones.
There's been a lot of good ones. I mean, when your GM was Ozzie for however many years, Hall of Fame tight end, I think he knows what to look for in the position. So, I mean, we're both really blessed to have played for that organization. I mean, you see around the league, and nobody knows this better than Sam Darnold, who's playing in the Super Bowl, is not every organization is the same. And, he's fortunately in a great spot now. But, man, I mean, to have to take your lumps in organizations like the Jets. I know you guys are in New York. You're a Giants fan,
I'm
though,
a Giants
right?
fan. It's cool, yeah.
So we can slander the Jets name a little bit.
They deserve to be slandered.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay, good.
Not a big deal. So my team now has John Harbaugh. I'm a Giants fan as my head coach. When the news came down that the Ravens fired John Harbaugh, what was the reaction? Todd, first to you.
Well, it wasn't like he's been there for 18 years and he's done a great job for that long. But in Baltimore, there's some expectations, and they want to win, and they want to win every year. And so he did a lot of winning there. Ravens have done a lot of winning over the years, but I think Steve Bisciotti's a guy, he wants to win Super Bowls. And so that's the way he's built the program. He's done a great job of setting a culture of, I pick the guys, we believe in the guys, we're loyal to them to a fault, and I don't think it was a fault that he was loyal to Harbaugh or any number of guys that we've had in the organization, but I think that's how you build great organizations is you bring in great people, let them do their job, and give them a leash to be able to do that.
What did you think when you saw it?
Yeah, I mean, I was shocked, to be honest. I know there was rumblings about it all year, and, the Ravens obviously underperformed given their expectations going into the year. But, I mean, so much of that was injuries. You didn't have Lamar Jackson for a large stretch of that season when you started 1-5. I did not think the Ravens, even with all the talk, would actually make the move. Because John Harbaugh's a staple in Baltimore, or has been for the last 18 years, and he has had so much success. Obviously won the Super Bowl in 2012, and he's been a great head coach and a great culture setter for that team. And the Ravens are just one of those organizations that don't make changes very often. I mean, the Steelers are right there, and both those organizations, moved on from their head coaches. And so it was surprising in that respect. I think everything, though, runs its course. And even, having great 18 years there in Baltimore, I think it was probably time for a new adventure for John and, a change for Baltimore. Just kind of spark things because they kind of hit this plateau where they were always great in the regular season and they would make the postseason. They just couldn't quite get it done for whatever reason. And, not saying that was John Harbaugh's fault, but I think some kind of a change needed to be made to kind of spark the thing.
Are you guys friends outside of this?
No, we don't like each other at all.
I have to ask the question.
Well, I was only with Dennis for 1 year. His rookie year was my last year in Baltimore, so I pretty much taught him everything he knew. Gave him
you're a stud, dude. You guys were
You're
both
a
a
stud,
You were a stud, man.
Yeah, no, we've been good friends for a long time. So,
are you pissed that he got the Super Bowl ring and you had left Baltimore and they won a couple years later? And I want you to be very honest.
I am nothing but happy for all of Dennis's success and everybody's
for sure.
I would be pissed. So, Todd, you had an amazing career, right? I'm not just saying that. So you come in 0-1 after the Ravens beat the piss out of my Giants in Super Bowl 35. You leave, and then they go to the title game in 11, and they win the Super Bowl in 2012. What the hell happened?
Well, Joe Flacco happened. I mean, he got his first 3 years. Honestly, his first week he was on the team, I could see all the promise in him. And it was just a matter of unleashing that. And I think in that fifth year, they really unleashed that. Joe had that that great run toward the end of the season and through the playoffs, it was, I mean, unrivaled. So it was pretty fun to watch. You know, anytime you have a bunch of buddies on a team and they're all having success, I mean, that's what it's all about. The things you miss in football when you leave is you miss the competition and you miss the locker room. You miss the camaraderie of your teammates. And so that camaraderie never goes away.
Can I hit you with a deep cut quickly?
Okay, what is it?
All right. So I remember, like, I'm a lifelong, like, I'm an NFL super fan. You guys are probably like, okay, buddy. But I love this stuff, right? So the 2000 Ravens may be considered to be the second best defense of all time. Destroy my favorite team in Super Bowl 35. I remember talking with my dad about it that offseason when Coach Billick and the Ravens make the decision to move on from Trent Dilfer, who had won the Super Bowl. In comes Elvis Gerback for your rookie year. Now, you guys make the playoffs, but don't win the Super Bowl again, obviously, until Dennis is there and you had left in 2012. What was that year like? Because from afar, it felt like almost like the team didn't get over it to a degree, Trent not being there. But I'm watching from afar. What was that like?
They brought in Elvis Gerback the next year, and Trent obviously left. And I mean, obviously, I didn't know the dynamic the year before, but I know Trent was very well respected and a great leader in the locker room. You know, they went, handful of games without scoring a lot of points and relied on Matt Stover, the kicker, to.
Tony Banks started a lot of those games. Like no one, Trent Dilfer was not the starting quarterback to begin that year.
That year, I mean, in 10 years in Baltimore, I think I played with 9 or 10 different starting quarterbacks, and so there was not a lot of staples in there. You know, it was anywhere from Kyle Bowler to Steve McNair, and then all finished with Joe Flacco. But there was
Stoney Case in there, I think, for a game or two.
There was a lot of guys in the mix there, and so it was just we were never able to get a quarterback to be that staple until Joe.
Let's talk about your guys' run to Super Bowl 47. It's a true story. I'm going to make it about myself for a second. So I've been known to place a bet or two. I bet on you guys every single playoff game, and when I was tweeting about it at the time, I'm trying to break into media, right? I was a producer. My hashtag was Wacko for Flacco. So I had you guys in the divisional round in Denver, the Raheem Moore game with Jacoby Jones. I felt like in 11, I watched that game. I told you off air. I can tell the story at Joe Madden's house. I felt like you guys were the better team in 11 than New England. And that Joe outplayed Brady in both of those games. So in 12, I was like, they're definitely going to win this game. And then you guys were dogs in the Super Bowl to the Niners. I didn't get that. And you guys ended up winning there as well. Take us through that run to that Super Bowl championship.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because in 2011, I think we were a better team overall. So I would agree with that assessment. But, we go to New England, which is never an easy place to play.
You agree with me, by the way? You guys were the better team in 11. When you guys lost that game.
I would agree. I think, we had opportunities at the end of that game to win it, obviously, to get the go-ahead touchdown. We ended up settling for a field goal, which we missed, to force it to overtime.
Billy Cundiff.
That's, people don't think too fondly of Billy, unfortunately. Billy's a good guy, but, he's not spoken of very fondly in Baltimore, even to this day. But, I remember gathering in the locker room around Ray Lewis in 2011, right after we won or lost that game. And he said something to the effect of, we're going to do everything we possibly can to get back into this situation again and see what happens. Like, don't hang your head. Let this motivate you. We're going to be back here. And sure enough, the very next year we were.
In Foxborough again.
In Foxborough, same exact scenario with a chance to go to the Super Bowl. We had to get through Brady in New England. And
you beat the piss out of them.
Yeah,
we
beat them pretty good. I mean, I think the lure of New England and Brady, maybe caught up to us the first time, but the second time around, we knew we were better than that team. And we went out and we played well. We finally played to our potential and got it done. And so, but that was not. I'm shocked you bet on all of those games because that was not an easy road to the Super Bowl. We had to go to Denver in the second round against Peyton Manning and a team
Your money wasn't safe in that game, was it?
You were 8.5-point dogs, and I'll never forget. And forgive me,
we were 8.5-point dogs in that game.
Were you on the field for the Jacoby touchdown?
Yeah. I was the one pulling coverage away from Jacoby.
Is it possible? And
I was getting quadruple covered so Jacoby get open.
I don't know, Raheem. I don't mean is it You guys play a lot of football. Is that the worst angle ever taken by anyone doing anything in the history of life? Raheem Moore trying to tackle or cover Jacoby Jones.
Well, it was so shocking in that moment because I remember we were just running 4 verticals, all go routes. I'm in the seam. Jacoby's right to my right. And so I'm running up the seam. I'm like, nobody's open. So I actually break my route off early and break out towards Jacoby's
Are you the
side.
reason why the Ravens won the Super Bowl? It sounds like it.
That's basically what I'm saying. No. But I break out to the right. I'm just trying to get open at that point because Joe, you kind of have that internal clock in your head like, okay, he's got to get rid of the ball. I'm not open. I got to find a way to get open. So I break my route off. Jacoby stops running. He stays on the go, but he stops running. He kind of throttles down. Steps up, has somehow a clean pocket right in front of him, and is able to kind of step up on the run and just throws the ball out to Jacoby. And Jacoby's behind the corner. The corner kind of stopped too. And then Raheem Moore just takes the worst angle you've ever seen because all he has to do is make a tackle, even if we complete that ball.
You're right.
Because there's under 30 seconds, we have no timeouts.
Yeah.
So if he just tackles him in bounds, we maybe get off a play or 2 more, and that's it.
Yeah.
But to let that go for a touchdown in that situation, I mean, it shocked all of us. And then obviously it forced overtime. We still had to win in overtime, but
went to double overtime, right?
Did it go to double? I'm
pretty sure it went to double overtime. Yeah, the game went on
you
forever.
as a veteran were probably nervous as all get out.
Well, I mean, and the reason why, and then we'll talk about Cadix cleats in 1 second, guys. The reason why I liked you guys in 12 is because in 11, I walked away watching that AFC Championship game thinking, not only were the Ravens the better team, but Joe Flacco outplayed, not saying Joe's better than Tom, Joe Flacco outplayed Tom Brady. And if that happened in an AFC Championship game and they get back to the mix again, this is the team that's going to win the next year. That's why I thought so.
January Joe, Joe's regular season, you just put his stats up in the regular season. They're good. They're fine. But
he's like Eli.
Yeah, Joe in the postseason was a different animal.
Generational runs.
Phased.
Yeah.
Joe, the moment was never big for Joe, too big. And he just, okay, I'm going against Tom Brady. Great. I'm better than Tom Brady. That was always his mindset.
They're going to kill me. So we're going to do the promotion right now.
All right.
Now I'm not an athlete. But if I were, I would wear these because they're sick. Tell us what you're doing with our friends at Cadix Cleats.
Yeah, so as you can see here, this has smart stud technology. It's a patented technology. Ooh. So these studs on the bottom, the 4-foot of the cleat plate, they can flex, they pivot, they can spin 360 degrees. And so what it does is it changes the dynamic and the interaction the athlete has with the playing surface. There's so much made nowadays of grass versus field turf and all that kind of stuff. The issue that players have with field turf is that there isn't as much give. Grass, there's more natural give. So when I plant and I change direction, I have a little bit of give. My cleat kind of releases a little bit easier. It gets in a better position when I'm turning and changing direction. This can do that for an athlete without having to be on a natural surface. So it works great on both surfaces, but when I'm on turf and there's not as much give underneath me, because these can flex.
We see this all the time. Guys tearing ACLs on field turf,
how
right?
many
contact ACL injuries.
Top players in the NFL are
especially
out with
at
injuries.
MetLife, right, where the Giants and Jets play. Feels like it happens constantly.
Yeah. I mean, you have Patrick Mahomes with an ACL. You have Micah Parsons with an ACL. We're not saying we can avoid all of those injuries, but if we can mitigate your risk to have a non-contact injury like that, just even a little bit, it's worth it. And that's really our goal. And so there's great research behind this. We're excited to be a part of it. And it's obviously a great product. We have 40 or 50 NFL guys wearing them in games right now, even more in practice, because number one, they're comfortable. If they weren't comfortable and a great cleat to begin with, guys wouldn't care, even if they were, help them a certain degree to mitigate injuries. But couple that with the ability to now potentially save your ACL.
Yeah.
It's huge and it's groundbreaking. And that's why we ultimately got involved, and we're excited to be a part of this project.
They're going to kill me. Dennis Pitta, Todd Heap with us
hey,
here on the show.
Appreciate it, guys.
Enjoyed the Super Bowl, and good luck with everything with Cadix Cleats.
We appreciate it.